Hello everyone, I'm Heather. I believe it is the 13th book as well. I've just finished round 1 going through all the prompts and we're starting now round 2 with a slasher, okay, as is right. So this one is part of that series of Scottish history novels I like. The one that I read was Hex by Jenny Fagan. It was about like Galis Duncan and her witch trial and everything on like her last day before she was executed. This one, Rizzio by Denise Mina, I believe is about Mary Queen of Scots and how her husband had her lover violently murdered and made her watch. Scandalous. I remember I went on a school trip, like from America to Scotland, like a sort of summer, like a big summer trip. And we went to, I think, Holyrood or something like that, like somewhere in Scotland, where they have this guy's like blood spot, Rizzio, the lover. His blood is like still on the floor and you can like touch it. And then like, I don't know, like some haunting thing happens to you. Like it wasn't clear, but we all touched it. So, okay, if you have not watched yesterday's installment, I do not blame you. Damn. However, a very good and amazing and fantastic thing happened. I realized that I've met my goal for the year and I have fallen below 100 unread books in my house, finally. So I may, tomorrow or the next day, potentially go to the bookstore and use the £100 my mother-in-law has given me for my birthday to buy books. Thank God. Thank God the buying of the books has returned. Like, I'm not going to go all out. You know, I've still got to make sure that I rein it in or else it was all pointless. But I'm pretty excited to buy some books. Okay. Sisters of the Mist. Watch out for the trolls. Big, smelly, and always hungry. Trolls drag little children into their underground burrows and crush their brittle bones.
Every day it's getting faster. Everyone said go and ask her away. Hey, hey, hey.
Good morning, Mr. Hank. Good morning. Did you have a nice night? Should we talk about how you're not allowed on the sofa? Huh? What is that? Why is that a bit of sass? Is that a bit of sass? Oh, you're not allowed. No.
That's the place.
Okay, so in our book, Rizzio is not the Queen's lover. I thought she was the Queen's lover. Maybe I got that from a movie at some point. I don't know. But he's actually just her aide, or like her best friend, and also like a courtier, okay? So he's like really like well respected as a courtier, and he speaks 5 languages, and he's like a professional, you know, he's like sort of diplomatic in things he does and says, but he's now gotten way too close to the Queen. And there's like this power struggle between the Queen and her husband, who is a total dick, but who was a love match and now wants more power, you know, being married to the Queen and all. And she's like, actually, I think you're sort of a dick, so I don't want to give you any power. So his plan now is, with like a bunch of other like schemers in court and stuff, is to murder Rizzio, her best friend and confidant, in front of her so that she'll miscarry, she's pregnant, and die, basically. So that he can then claim the throne for himself. At the minute, there's not a lot going on. The story's just sort of laying out our players, you know, and I really like stuff like that, where they're just sort of like, I don't know, like they're historical people that actually lived, and these are actual sort of factual situations, but it's sort of getting in their minds and their relationships and things, you know, in more detail, in depth, you know, as if they are fictional characters, you know. She's sort of like building them up properly as characters, do you know what I mean? And I really like stuff like that. But yeah, nothing really as yet has happened. Okay, I have a meeting now online. However, I don't think I need to actually be in the meeting so much as just present online. Do you know what I mean? So I think what I'll do is I'll go in, mute myself, maybe take myself off camera, and then crack into my book. I'm currently a good chunk of the way through it, and I am enjoying. If this meeting goes for like 2 hours, I reckon I can finish this book in that time. Okay, the meeting was not as long as I hoped it would be, and they did require a slight amount of like concentration. So I only got to here, but I feel like that is like the vast majority of the book, really. I've only got like maybe a half an hour sort of worth of reading at the end, and like everyone's camera was on. I didn't expect that. Like everyone else's camera was on, so I felt like I should have my camera on, so I had to like sort of put the book, you know, below, just below sort of the camera level, and like have a pen in my hand, like I was like taking notes, but really I was like reading. Anyway, I'm enjoying it. It's really good. I really like this author. I've not read anything else by her, but she has written other stuff, and I might sort of look into that. But basically it's just telling this story, this Scottish real life story. It's just telling it, but giving the characters more depth. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of the people that were part of the killing of Rizzio sort of told themselves that it was because he's Catholic. You know, it's right there at the schism, like in the 16th century when it's just happened, and people are, you know, still sort of fighting for the soul of the country, you know, like, oh, we can't let the Catholics have it back, blah, blah, blah. So part of them sort of gave themselves that in their minds. That's why they're killing him. But really, they sort of wanted to seize more power from the Queen by sort of like causing her to be so shocked she died. Do you know what I mean? Which is stupid because, I don't know, she's quite strong and powerful as a person, and this has happened and she's like, I'm so pissed. But anyway, the husband realizes now that they'd sort of tricked him. He's sort of a bit of a stupid sort of guy. And they were like, once she's dead, you'll be king. And then he's finding out actually they don't ever intend for him to be king. They just wanted his help to like get this going. So now he's realized he's really fucked up, right? So he's like gone into Mary's like room where they're holding her prisoner, and he's just sort of groveling, being like, I'm so sorry, I've messed up. And the Queen's like, I love you, but I can't trust you. Do you know why? Because you fucked up. Anyway, I'm really enjoying it. Guys, so much mail has come today, and I think it's all of it birthday mail. Oh, can I get a name in for birthday mail? Holy fracking shit. I think this is like a sort of like tablet e-reader thing. Oh, shit. Okay. We have a case, which is brilliant, and also some funky socks, which are always appreciated. Okay, I have finished Rizzio, and I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. I don't think I liked it as much as Hex, the other one of these I read, but I really liked Hex, you know. So this one still, I think, like maybe 5 stars, like 4 stars. Nah, I'm gonna go 5 stars. I really enjoyed it, and there are things like how it ends. I didn't really know that happened. I mean, like, we know what happens is history. Like, you know, spoiler alert, she dies. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like with Titanic, like the movie, like, you know how it ends, like, spoiler alert, it sinks, you know. But I didn't know about like the room that Rizzio was murdered in at Hollywood. Like, apparently, so she didn't die like at this period. It was like ages later that she was like beheaded, but she never went back to these rooms where Rizzio was murdered in her whole life. So, you know, the rest of her life, and then also all queens for like the next 200 years after that never slept in those queens' chambers and never went in there. And it just sort of became this dilapidated, disgusting room where they used to just stick the furniture for like 200 years. And then Sir Walter Scott wrote his story about the Queen or something. I've never read that story. But apparently it sort of reminded Victorians that Queen of Scots existed and had like a really interesting life. Do you know what I mean? And then suddenly they were interested in her rooms then, and they sort of went in there and sort of like redid them and made them better. But anyway, I thought that was really interesting. I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed like what the author did with those characters and also like her writing style. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. Okay, so my next one is going to be another round of the cargo shorts prompt, which is Lanny by Max Porter. And I feel like loads of people either love this book or hate this book. Like, nobody really seems to just feel like it's okay. So I'm hoping that I will love it, but I don't know. I do have to go into the office tomorrow and do proper stuff all day. So I have the ability to get the audiobook for this book if needed. Like, if just work takes my whole day, I'll be able to do the audiobook, which will be good. Okay, any questions, any comments for me at all? I'm loving hearing what you're reading for Shorty September. I've added absolutely loads of those to my list of books that I should eventually read when I'm able to buy books. You know, let me know if you read this book. If you've not read this book, did you like it? Did you not like it? How do you feel about Laney? Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye bye bye.